Every couple might be wondering what's the secret to a happy wedding? This video of happy wedding quote for couples will help you express your love for that special person in your life. If you can stay in love for more than 2 years, you're on something. True love is the greatest thing in the world, except for a nice MLT mutton, lettuce and tomato sandwich, where the mutton is nice and lean and the tomato is ripe. The ideal husband understands every word his wife doesn't say. A happy marriage is the union of two good forgivers. We are all a little weird and life's a little weird. And when we find someone whose weirdness is compatible with ours, we join up with them and fall in mutual weirdness and call it love. True love stories never have endings. You don't love someone for their looks, or their clothes or their fancy car, but because they sing a song only you can hear. If we look at the world with a love of life, the world will reveal its beauty to us. Soul meets soul on lovers' lips. Being someone's first love may be great, but to be their last is beyond perfect. Keep love in your heart. A life without it is like a sunless garden when the flowers are. You were every reason, every hope and every dream I've ever had. 100 hearts would be too few to carry all my love for you. In the arithmetic of love, 1 + 1 = everything, and 2 - 1 = nothing. Once in a while, right in the middle of an ordinary life, love gives us a fairy tale. And I knew exactly how old Walt Disney's Cinderella felt when she found her prince. Doubt thou the stars are fire. Doubt that the sun doth move. Doubt truth to be a liar. But never doubt I love. I would rather share one lifetime with you than face all the ages of this world alone. What lies behind us, and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Oh, the heart that has truly loved never forgets, but as truly loves on to the close. An archaeologist is the best husband a woman can have. The older she gets, the more interested he is in her. Marrying a man is like buying something you've been admiring for a long time. In a shop window, you may love it when you get it home, but it doesn't always go with everything else. Love is a lot like a backache. It doesn't show up on X-rays, but you know it's there. I love you more than coffee, but please don't make me prove it. The highest happiness on earth is the happiness of marriage. Nobody has ever measured, even poets, how much a heart can hold. Gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love. Marriage has no guarantees. If that's what you're looking for, go live with a car battery. Real love amounts to withholding the truth, even when you're offered the perfect opportunity to hurt someone's feelings. The groom always smiles proudly, because he's convinced he's accomplished something quite wonderful. The bride smiles because she's been able to convince him of it. A good marriage is like a casserole. Only those responsible for it really know what goes in it. All my friends are getting married. I guess I'm just at that age where people give up. You can't put a price tag on love, but if you could, I'd wait for it to go on sale. I love being married. It's so great to find one special person you want to annoy for the rest of your life. Romance is the icing, but love is the cake. Being a good husband is like being a stand-up comic. You need 10 years before you can call yourself a beginner. Only married people understand you can be miserable and happy at the same time. Marriage is like twirling a baton, turning a handspring, or eating with chopsticks. It looks easy until you try it. Grief can take care of itself, but to get the full value of joy, you must have somebody to divide it with. Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. You know you're in love when you can't fall asleep, because reality is finally better than your dreams. You know when you have found your prince because you not only have a smile on your face, but in your heart as well. Love is life. And if you miss love, you miss life. Marriage is the highest state of friendship. If happy, it lessens our cares by dividing them, at the same time that it doubles our pleasures by mutual participation. You don't marry the person you can live with, you marry the person you can't live without. When you look for the right person, you always end up with the wrong one. But when you just sit by the corner and wait, he comes along and shares the corner with you. You will find, as you look back upon your life, that the moments when you have truly lived are the moments when you have done things in the spirit of love. To love or have loved, that is enough. Ask nothing more. A marriage is not a noun, it's a verb. It isn't something you get. It's the way you love your partner every day. There is no such thing as a perfect man or a perfect marriage, but the one I have is perfect for me. Then the Lord God said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him." Love doesn't make the world go round. Love is what makes the ride worthwhile. A successful marriage requires falling in love many times, always with the same person. A good marriage is one which allows for change and growth in the individuals, and in the way they express their love. In dreams and in love, there are no impossibilities. The beauty of marriage is not always seen from the very beginning, but rather as love grows and develops over time. Love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful and endures through every circumstance. In a marriage, each partner is to be an encourager rather than a critic, a forgiver rather than a collector of hurts, and enabler rather than a reformer. Let brotherly love continue. Remember, we all stumble, every one of us. That is why it's a comfort to go hand in hand. Is it love that makes the impossible possible? The greatest marriages are built on teamwork, a mutual respect, a healthy dose of admiration, and a never-ending portion of love and grace. Love me when I least deserve it, because that is when I really need it. The real act of marriage takes place in the heart, not in the ballroom or church or synagogue. It's a choice you make on your wedding day, and over again. And that choice is reflected in the way you treat your husband. I am my beloved and my beloved is mine. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. You should be kissed, and often, and by someone who knows how. Marriages, like a garden, take time to grow, but the harvest is rich unto those who patiently and tenderly care for the ground. There is no more lovely, friendly, and charming relationship, communion or company than a good marriage. Love is not something you feel. It is something you do. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you like another quotes, check out our videos. See you in next one. Thank you for watching.